Good morning to all students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so as you can see on your screen, we will complete yesterday's sum. Okay, we were started with Modi method for testing optimality of a transportation problem. Today we'll finish that off. Okay, so we were at the assumption of any row or any column as zero, right? We were at that stage, and we saw that the second row, that is C2. Second row, that is u2, right? U stands for the rows and the V stands for the columns. Okay, and C's are the Cij are the different costs present in different cells. Okay, so we saw that u2 row had the maximum number of allocations. See in your screen, the second row, that is B, it is having three allocations, whereas others are having either one or two, or no, one or two they're having. But this is the highest allocations, and it can be anyway. Okay, it can be in the column side also. Had there in the any column the allocations would have been more, we would have taken that column as zero. All right, so here in this sum we saw that the second row has the maximum allocation, so we will take u2 as 0. Okay, and yesterday we came across this formula that this will be used. Okay, with this assumption we will move ahead. What is the assumption? The assumption is ui plus vj equals to cij. Okay, ui plus vj, that means whatever will be the value of u, that means the row side, and the column side, that will be equal to the cost present in that particular cell. It is saying something like, say for example, say this cost, say this 18. Okay, say this 18. Can you see this 18 in the second column and second row in B2 Q2? Can you see this 18? I'm talking about this 18. Okay, B2 Q2. This 18, what we will assume in this 18? We will assume that U2 means row and 2 means the row number. Okay, U2, we will say U2 plus V also 2. V stands for the column and column number is 2. So U2 plus V2 equals to 18. It is something like that. That function, no, uij plus ui plus vj equals to cij. That means this thing. Say for example, this number 14. Say this 14 in the second row and third column. This 14. What we will write following that function? We will write b2. We will write u2. U stands for row and the row number is 2. And u2 plus v3. V stands for the column and column number is 3. So u2 plus v3 equals to 14. It stands for that assumption. Okay, this I'm talking about this function ui plus vj equals to cij. How is it coming? This is following that rule. Okay, how we will utilize this function? We will first take the row name and the row number, and the column, then the column number. Okay, row and column will be notified by u and v respectively, and then we will put the number of the row and number of the column. The total of these two will be equals to the cost present in that particular cell. Okay, now what will be this u2's value and v2's, whatever u3 v3, whatever will be the notation for the row side and the column, what will be these values? We don't know, right? So for knowing that, we are taking one of the row as 0. If we take one of the row as 0, no, half of all our problem will be solved. Okay, let us see how. So to start with, you can write this line in your copy. To start with, we give u2 equals to 0. as the second row has the maximum number of allocation. You can write this line in your copy. Okay, Modi method. After writing Modi method, you can write this line. To start with, we give or we assume. You can write. You write to start with, comma, we assume. To start with, we assume u2 equals to 0. We assume u2 equals to 0 as the second row has the maximum number of allocation. Has the maximum number of allocation. Okay, after writing this line, we will start using this function ui plus vj equals to cij. Okay, since we have taken u2 as 0, so if we start from the second row's calculation, it will be easier for us because we will be knowing one of the values, either of u or of v. We have to know either of this value, only then we can proceed. So since we have taken u2 as 0, so we will start with the second row's calculation. So we will start with C21. C21 means this 2 stands for the column row number and 1 stands for the column number. Okay. So C21, what will be the cost? Can anyone tell me? If 2 stands for the row number and column stands for the 1 stands for the column number, and you are taking that cost, what is that cost or which is that cell we are talking about?
32.
32. C2, no? C2.
Ma'am, 17.
17. C2 means the second row, that is 2, and 1 means the first column. Okay, so it is 17. So we will write C21 equals to, write this in your copy. Okay, write C21 equals to U2 plus V1 equals to 17. Right, C2 equals to U2 plus V1 equals to 17. Equals to 17. That is equals to U2 we have assumed as 0. So you will write 0 plus V1 equals to 17. You will write 0 plus V1 equals to 17. That implies V1 equals to 17. That implies V1 equals to 17. Okay, next we will take C23. Again we will start with the second row because we know that second row's value is going to be 0. So if we utilize that 0 assumption, we can easily calculate the value of the other column number. So we will take C23. We will take C23. And one more thing I had to mention, that we are going to calculate this only for the occupied cell. Okay, we are going to calculate this only for the occupied cell. Occupied cell means in the cells where allocations have been made. Okay, the cells in which the allocations have been made, for those cells only we will calculate, not for all the cells. Okay, I forgot to mention this yesterday also, that not for all the cells we will have to calculate this by taking the assumption that U2 is 0 only for the occupied cell. Okay, so once we are done with C21, we will calculate C23, because that is the next allocated cell. C23, that means second row, third column, that is 14. You write C23 equals to, you write C23 equals to U2 plus V3. C23 equals to U2 plus V3 equals to 14. Equals to 14. That implies U2 is 0. So you write 0 plus V3 equals to 14. Implies V3 equals to 14. Okay. Next, which is the next allocated cell in the second row? It is C24, right? Next allocated cell is C24. That means the second row, fourth column. We are standing at cell 23, cell having the cost 23. So you write C24 equals to C24 equals to U2 plus V4. C24 equals to U2 plus V4 equals to 23. That is equals to 0 plus V4 equals to 23. That implies V4 equals to 23. Okay. Now we know V1, V3, V4 and U2 we know. V1, V3, V4 and U2 will know. We will utilize these findings in order to calculate the values for the rest of the allocated cells. So if we start with this cell, say U1, V4, can we calculate the value of U1 then? If we start with U1, V4, because by now V4 we know. By now the value of V4 we know. And we need to find out the value of U1, because U2 we know, but U1 and U3 we do not know as of now. So we will have to utilize our findings till now and find out the value of your U1 and U4. Those U1 and U3 we will find out. Okay, so let us start with this cell. Then next write C14, right? C14, right? C14, fourth one I am telling you, write C14. That is equals to U1 plus V4, U1 plus V4 equals to 13. U1 plus V4 equals to 13. V4 we know, because in the last step only we have calculated V4 as 23. So we will write that is equals to U1 plus 23 equals to 13. U1 plus 23 equals to 13. That implies U1 equals to minus 10. 13 minus 23, that is minus 10. Okay. Next, let us see which is the next allocated cell for whom the value can be calculated. If we start with this one, the 17, where 10 has been allocated, we will have to know U3 and V2. We will have to know U3 and V2. Do we know U3? As of now, we don't know U3. And do we know V2? Have we calculated V2? No, we have not calculated V2. So we will not start with this cell. Okay, but instead of this 17 where 10 has been allocated, we start with this cell, that is 18 where 9 has been allocated. Then we can calculate something, because here what will be the U's and V's? U will be U3 and V will be V3. U3 plus V3 will be 18. Now we don't know U3 plus but V3 we know. But V3 we have calculated, isn't it? V3 we have calculated as 14. So now we will start with this cell, that is 18 where 9 has been allocated. So next you write C33. You write C33. You write C33 equals to U3 plus V3 equals to 18. U3 plus V3 equals to 18. That is equals to U3 plus V3 we have calculated here. See, in the second calculation, V3 is 14. So U3 plus 14 equals to 18. That implies U3 equals to 4. Okay. Now as we know U3, now we can calculate for this cell, that is 17 where 10 has been allocated. Next you write C32. Next you write C32. Next will be C32 equals to U3 plus V2 equals to U3 plus V2 equals to 17. That is equals to, now we know U3. So we will write 4 plus V2 equals to 17. That implies V2 equals to 17 minus 4, that is 13. Okay, V2 equals to 13. All right. This calculation, if you are having any doubt, you can refer to the class recordings. Those who have joined late, I could see many of you joined late, maybe due to the confusion that whether I'll be taking class or not. That's okay. You can refer to the class recordings that I'll upload at night. Okay, I will see if I can upload early, but most probably I'll upload at night. So you just refer to the class recordings. Okay, how these calculations are coming and why we are doing it. After that, and those who want to contact me personally, they can also message. I will reply to your queries. Okay. All right. After calculating, now we know the values of U's and V's for the allocated cell, isn't it? Or the occupied cell. So after calculating this, what we need to do is, now we find the sum Ui and Vj for each empty cell and enter it at the bottom left corner of that cell. Now while calculating this Ui's and Vj's, no, we will see that we can now allocate for the unoccupied cell also. Those cells in which no numbers were allocated, for those cells we will now calculate. So what we do is, now we find the sum of Ui and Vj for each of the empty cell, and we will enter that value at the bottom left corner of that particular cell. Okay. So what is the first unoccupied cell? After this final table, we saw that the first unallocated cell is this one. That is A1, P1. That means U1, V1, the first cell, right? This is the unallocated cell. So what is the U value here? It is U1, and V value, V number is V1. U row number is 1, V column number is also 1. So we need to know U1 and V1, isn't it? So if we know U1 and V1, then we will add that and write it at the left corner in that cell. What is the value of u1? u1 is minus 10, isn't it? u1 is minus 10 and v1 is 17, right? From this calculation we can see that u1 is minus 10 and v1 is 17. So we have to add these two, okay? u1 plus v1. If we add this, how much will we get? We will get 7 because 10 is minus. Minus 10 plus 17 will give you 7. So we will write this 7 at the bottom left corner of this cell. Now you make this table once again. We make this table once again. Same allocation you will write, but in this unoccupied cells, you will write the summation of that ui and vj. Make this table once again. I will show you this table. You make this table once again, but you put another column and another row, name it as ui and vj. Write this table once again in your copy and write one ui and vj on the sides, on the column side and on the row side to make.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
ma'am, when we are making this initial basic feasible solution table, ma'am,
Hmm.
in that we don't have to write the demand supply columns and then strike off the cancellations and then do.
That too you will do, no? That you have already done before that.
Ma'am,
In this,
before that we have done sixth allocation. So when we are making the final,
that you can, that you will write. That doesn't matter. Okay, that you will write. But in order to test the optimality, this is our necessity. You are saying that in the final initial basic table that you are writing as a solution in rest of the sums, why you are not writing the supply and the demand side and the striking off part, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can write, no problem in that. You can write. In this book, it has not been written because here the Modi method would be applied. So twice they would have to write. That's why they have written in once.
So, ma'am, if we write, then we need to strike it off also, or the whole question, the numbers which are given in the question will write that.
You strike off because in the solution you show the strike off part, no?
Yes, yes,
Hmm.
ma'am.
So you will show the strike off part. Hmm. After that, you will write the details that this row has been allocated as 0, so and so. You will also have to write so that it is understandable properly. Sorry, I got disconnected. Just a second. Huh? Okay, so I hope you have written this table once again. Is it finished? Have you written this table once again?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we will write the numbers in the unoccupied cells. Okay, so first cell is the first one, that is 21, and here U number is 1 and V number is also 1. So U1 plus V1 we will write. What is the value of U1? U1 is minus 10 and V1 is 17. So minus 10 plus 17 we will write 7 here on the bottom left corner of the cell. Okay. And what is this 14? You can see on your screen in the cell. You write this now in your copy. In the first cell, you write 7 on the left corner. And what is this 14? This 14 is nothing but 21 minus 7. Okay, 14 how we will get? We will get by deducting this total of this ui and bj from the cost allocated in that cell. So 14 is 21 minus 7 is 14, and we will write in the right hand side, lower right hand side corner of this particular cell. Okay, the next unoccupied cell is which one? Next unoccupied cell is the second one, right? 16. So what is the U number for this 16 and V number? Tell me what is U and V for this for this cell? Who will tell me? So that I can understand that you have understood this motif. What will be the U and what will be the V for this second cell? That is 16 I'm talking about. I'm talking about 16.
Ma'am, U1 and V2. U1 and
Oh,
V2.
yes, exactly. Very good. So it will be U1 plus V2. Then let us see what is the value of U1. U1 is minus 10 and V2 is 13. So minus 10 plus 13 will give you 3, right? So you write in the second cell, that is in the cell of 16, you write 3 in the left hand side corner at the bottom. And you will deduct this 3 from this cost allocated in this cell, that is 16. So it will be 16 minus 3, that is 13. So it will be 16 minus 3, that is 13. Next unallocated cell is the third one, which is 25 one. So here the U1, UI and Vj's number will be U1 plus V3. So let us find out what is U1 and what is V3. U1 is minus 10 and V3 is 14. So minus 10 plus 14, that is 4. And 4 will be written at this corner, left hand side corner. And this 21, how is it coming? We are deducting this 4 from 25. That is how it is coming, 21. Okay. Then this will be written as it is. It was 11 allocated in this cell. So we will write 11 only in this cell and put a circle. We will not change it, anything here. Okay. Then under UI column, we will write U1 equals to minus 10, because that is what we have found out. U1 equals to minus 10 we have found, right? So U1 is equals to minus 10 we will write. Similarly, allocate for the next row's unoccupied cell. In the row B, which is the unoccupied cell, it is 18 cell, isn't it? In the second row, the unoccupied cell is 18, is the one having the cost 18. So what will be the UI and Vj value here? Tell me, unmute and tell me. What will be the UI and Vj value in this cell 18? U will be U2 and V will be V2. So you write U2 plus V2. So it will be U2 plus V2. What is U2? U2 is 0 and V2 is 13. So 0 plus 13 will give you 13. So in this second row, in the unoccupied cell, you will write 13. This is 13, okay? You write 13 at the lower left hand side corner in this cell. And it will be 18 minus 13, that is 5. You write 5 on the right hand side, at the right hand side bottom of this cell. That's how you will proceed, okay? You have this solution with you, so you proceed in this manner. After this class, you will finish up this one, okay? Then what you will have to take is, now listen to me carefully, this del ij. What is this del ij? Del ij is the right hand side corner's number. This 14, 13, 5. This we are writing two numbers. No, one is at the left hand side corner and one is at the right hand side corner. So this right hand side corner's number has to be positive. Okay, this right hand side number has to be positive. That is del ij, which is equals to Cij minus ui plus Vj. You have to write like this. Since all del ij is greater than 0, the solution is optimal and unique. That is how we find out whether the solution that we were arrived at is an optimum or not. Understood? So this right hand side number that we are writing at the bottom of each of the unoccupied cell, that has to be a positive one. Understood? That has to be a positive one. If this is a positive one, then we can say that the solution is optimum and unique one. Okay. If it is not yet clear, we will again discuss it in the next class. Okay. But you finish this off and tell me if you have done it. And inform me if you have done it through WhatsApp. Click the photograph and tell me that, ma'am, yes, I have understood it. Okay. And also you can refer to the class recordings uploaded in Moodle. This findings of the number in the left hand side bottom and the right hand side bottom is important. Okay. Once you do it, you have to see whether the right hand side bottom's number is a positive one or not. If it is a positive one, then you can say that the solution is optimal and unique one. Okay, this is Modi method. These are the steps in Modi method. All right, calculation of these numbers are very important. Those who joined late, please refer to the class recordings and you can easily find out how these calculations have been done. All right. So then, okay, let's keep it up to this much. You can text me if you want more explanations. You can text me or you can look at the class recordings